Hi, everybody. My name is Andrew Swart. I'm Deloitte's Global Mining and Metals Leader. And we've just wrapped up 2 days of Mining Indaba. Usually this particular conference happens in person in Cape Town every year in February. But in our new virtualized environment, it was all done virtually and remotely. And so I'm speaking from my home in Toronto in Canada. While I think a lot of us who attend Mining Indaba, year in and year out, sort of miss the interactions and the personal connections, I don't think that the last 2 days, in fact, detracted from the richness of the conversation and the abundance of really great ideas. This is just a short little video which I guess reflects my own sort of takes on the last sort of 2 days of particular discussions, and in particular the discussions today across sort of several key panels. Earlier this week, we released our annual Tracking the Trends report. This is now in its 13th edition. And one of the key themes that we pulled through this particular year was the question of trust and the trust deficit that exists between the mining industry and different stakeholder groups, be that investors, community, government, society at large, or even talent. And so as I reflect a little bit on the panels today and maybe just call out some highlights of those, I mean, this morning we heard about the DMRE sort of supplier initiative, which really aims to sort of scale and grow small, medium enterprises in a sustainable way. And clearly, if this particular initiative is successful, it's going to be quite key to building this particular trust between communities and the industry as communities begin to see the benefit of the participation in the broader supply chain of these particular mining facilities. There was another sort of panel where we which highlighted the collaboration that is taking place between the industry and government. And again, trust is sort of at the heart of this one. We heard perspectives on the part of industry, which is facing regulatory and permitting hurdles in developing particular mines. And on the other hand, you're also dealing with government, which is looking for impact, looking for job creation, looking for wealth distribution, and that sort of level of uncertainty. And these issues are not unique to South Africa in any way. You find them right across the world, but this collaboration that is taking place and that needs to take place between government and the industry to work through these particular issues in a proactive way is clearly central to building trust across that particular axis. Panels also on mining transparency initiatives and responsible sourcing of particular minerals. And a lot of talk throughout the day on the artisanal sector. And I think the opportunity in bringing that particular sector maybe more in some sort of a formalized way and bringing transparency to the sector, which is going to be critical for some key commodities, particularly battery minerals. Now, often the artisanal sector is associated with illegal mining, but that's not the case in many parts of the world. And so I do think that the artisanal sector has the opportunity to be a key employment driver within the industry, and again, a driver of economic development, but does require some level of transparency and a lot of initiatives underway around that. ESG, pulled through pretty much all of the panels today in the second day of Mining Indaba. Going back to our Tracking the Trends, it featured in 3 out of our 10 trends as we decoupled the ES and the G. And so, clearly mining companies facing a lot of pressure around that, a lot of different standards, a lot of organizations subscribing to the UN Sustainability Development Goals, and the expectation now that mining companies are really transparent around these particular initiatives and these particular, policies. By the same token, a lot of talk that this is just potentially just an alphabet soup of things that mining companies really, are getting bombarded with going forward. But this is a critical issue. It's not going away, and is absolutely going to be something which is going to pull through anything from decarbonization to governance policies to looking at how the impact that mining companies are having with communities can be measured in a transparent way. And then sort of finally some comments on critical minerals. So this featured as our number 10 trend in our Tracking the Trends. particular for Africa, I think holds a tremendous opportunity. I think there was an interesting comment today from one panelist about how to ensure that nobody is left behind in this particular energy transition. And I think that's a very fair and a valid point. And so I think Africa holds a lot of these resources. It can be a real growth driver for the economy across Africa over the next couple of years, but needs to be done in a sustainable way. It needs to be done in a way where that benefit can be seen by particular communities and lift a good portion of the continent out of poverty. So those are some key takeaways from Mining Indaba. It wrapped up after 2 days, and looking forward to the discussion next year again. Bye-bye.